Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all of you. Thank you to Mr. Chairman, honorable panelists, respected fellow presenters, and seminar audience. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the First Borneo Psychology 2021 seminar for giving me the opportunity to present a concept paper entitled Sustainability of Technical and Vocational Education Training based on instructors' competency. Before I begin, let me introduce a little bit about myself. I am Mustar bin Mahmud, a current postgraduate student in the Faculty of Psychology in Education, Sabah, Malaysia University. So, let me begin with the content of my presentation today. As you can see on the screen, there are the things that I am going to discuss in my sharing today. Basically, there are 10 content items that I am going to share with all of you. Okay, first, let me introduce briefly about the concept of Educational Sustainability Development, ESD, Decade for Sustainability Development, DSD, and transformation of TVET in Malaysia. According to UNESCO 2005, the concept of sustainability in all areas of learning was declared in December 2002 in South Africa during the 57th United Nations General Assembly, launching of the Decade for Education for Sustainable Development ESD. All levels of education around the world would mobilize effort to make change in educational programs to incorporate elements of sustainability in vocational subjects. The main goal of this concept of sustainability is to improve the development of community life, especially for students and teachers, to have knowledge, skills, and values that support sustainability behavior, competitive, and have a better quality of life. Based on APU 2015, the TVET system in Malaysia is undergoing a systematic change towards the implementation of sustainability programs in accordance to UNESCO recommendations. This is a mainstream process that becomes the approach of the Ministry of Education Malaysia. The goal is to provide a highly skilled and adaptable workforce to produce innovative, creative, and competitive employees. TVET transformation is in effort to re-engineering the existing TVET institutional system framework until the construction of a new TVET system that can contribute to Malaysia's transformation agenda is a high-income country. Now, let's see a little bit on my research background. Issues of expertise and skills of TVET instructors are often raised, such as the competency gap between current technology and the expertise they have, namely the experience of instructors in related industries. It is relatively limited, and also instructors have less skills in the latest technology. Based on the Training Management Effectiveness Evaluation Report through the Training E-Evaluation Management System (SPEPL), which was published by Manpower Department in 2015 to 2020, a total of 1,142 ILJTM instructors obtained score below 3.0, meaning that the instructors does not reach a satisfactory level of competence. To ensure TVET contributes through the implementation of sustainable education development to human resource development and reduce the competency gap between the academic environment and industry needs, it is very important to analyze current and future expertise needs. According to Nurhayati Ramlan et al. 2017, training is something that is critical and dynamic in ensuring the success or failure of TVET organization. It allows instructors to acquire the necessary competencies along with the rapid pace of technology to improve and maintain the quality of teaching and learning. Based on Ministry of Education 2014, as technology evolves at a very rapid rate, some existing competencies will become obsolete and will create other new competencies that will be in greater demand. Those are more flexible education program that is able to adapt to the changing demands of the labor market can best support competent workers. Next, it will ensure the TVET programs remain relevant. A broader skills based in a more flexible TVET program must include the need to restructure and shifting from a conventional approach towards more focusing on work organization and work-related mechanism. Technical and vocational training education (TVET) needs to be designed to suit the demand of the workforce. Next, this is about my research problem statement. According to Ahmad Zainal 2015 and Kaprawi et al. 2019, the impact of the teacher competency issues that have been explained in the background research has caused major problems on the sustainability of TVET programs from various aspects such as infrastructure, curriculum design, industrial relations, staff development, and quality assurance. TVET institution in Malaysia cannot be implemented based on the real goal of sustainable education development. Based on the report of 9 strategies papers transforming TVET in the 11 Malaysian planning, it was found that there are 7 ministries that operate TVET institution in the country. This caused redundancy of functions and activities as well as an increase in the need for large financial allocation. Based on the EPU report 2015, there are still challenges that need to be addressed such as non-integrated delivery system, lack of recognition of technological careers, and instructors' competency gaps compared to current technology. Based on the Malaysian qualifications framework, there are 2 different agencies that have the authority to regulate the governance of TVET, namely the Malaysian Qualification Agency (MQA) and the Department of Skills Development (JPK). All programs under the vocational and technical sectors offered by institutions such as polytechnics, community college, and educational and training institution under MARA are accredited by MQA, which is placed under MOE. Meanwhile, skills training programs offered by institutions such as the Industrial Training Institute (ILP), High Technology Training Center (ITEC), and the National Youth Skill Training Institute (IKBN), and several other skills institutions are regulated by JPK under the Ministry of Human Resources. The implementation of TVET program accreditation by these 2 different agencies has raised many doubts on the part of the industry and the community regarding the quality of training as well as the graduate certification evaluation system. In addition, the situation under different accreditation systems have posed many problems involving the relatively limited mobility of students to connect to the TVET education in TVET institution in the country. They are among the issues and challenges for the global community of polymakers, researchers, lecturers, and administrators to operate the contribution that TVET can make in sustainable development. Now let me share the theory and model underlying TVET sustainability development concept. The theory of the 3-cross circle of sustainable development was outlined during the UNESCO Declaration 2005. The 3 pillars contained in ESD theory. First, the economy is a sustainable economic system must be able to produce products of goods and service continuously. Second, the environment is a sustainable system must maintain a stable resource base, avoid overexploitation of renewable resource systems, in the preservation of biodiversity, atmosphere stability, and other ecosystem functions. And the third, a social sustainable system must achieve distributional equity, adequate provision of social services, including health and education, gender equality, and political accountability and participation. Based on the model outlined by UNESCO Univoc 2004, there are 7 strategies in sustainable education development (ESD). Number 1, national support and vision. Number 2, support to review national TVET policies. Number 3, guidelines for planning and implementation. Number 4, capacity building and training programs. Number 5, support for the development of learning material, resources and equipment. Number 6, forging the relationship and partnership share and TVET. In the number 7, ongoing monitoring, evaluation and research. And this is a TVET framework model which is currently used in Malaysia. Based on the model outlined by UNESCO Univoc, Minghat and Yassin 2010 have produced a sustainable development framework for technical and vocational training education in Malaysia. A total of 20 TVET sustainability indicators have been set, namely instructors' knowledge, instructors' technical skills, counselors, management commitment, staff development programs, internships in industry cooperation, networking and partnerships, articulation, soft skills, skill-based training, lecturer teaching methods, entrepreneurship, industry input, recognition, lecturer creativity, lecturer innovation, student inclinations, student creativity, student innovation in ICT skills. Next is the dynamic model of TVET program. Based on Slowers and Wiley 2008, communication is the first competency in the model, emphasizing on the balance of dialogue between instructors and students and between fellow students. This means that the traditional tasks performed by instructors such as teaching, instructing, and communicating will change ESD develops. The second competency has a greater emphasis in ESD, as ESD should be done taking into account future orientation as well as local and global orientation. Insights in creating new perspectives considered as an important task because the role of educational transformation is a key issue in ESD. ESD creating a learning environment with a continuous loop that contains, sees, plans, acts, and reflects. ESD require the creation of learning opportunities in society. Now let's move on to the conceptual framework of this study. The conceptual framework of this study is based on the constructs and dimensions that have been obtained from the document analysis, that is the literature review. In this study, the independent variable is competence and the dependent variable is TVET sustainability. Dimensions for competence are vocational knowledge, functional skills, values, and professionalism, while the dimension for TVET sustainability are training infrastructure, curriculum design, industry relations, staff development, and quality assurance. The conceptual framework of the study on the influence of instructor competence on the sustainability of TVET is adapted from Slowers in Wiley 2008, Ahmad Zainal 2015, and Minghat and Yassin 2010. Now briefly, this is the methodology of the research study. The study is conducted later using a non-experimental type of study design. A set of questionnaire was used, a research instrument in the survey method on the study sample, which aimed to obtain information from part of the population related to the variable in this study. This quantitative approach is used to facilitate data acquisition and to ensure the reliability, validity and descriptability of the data to be obtained. Questionnaires are distributed to the study population, namely TVET instructors at the training institution of the Manpower Department throughout the country. Probability the sampling techniques will be used involving stratified random sampling methods, cluster random sampling, and finally sample random sampling. Based on a combination of several sampling methods, finally the number of samples targeted in the study is determined given the location involving all 32 ILJTMs throughout the country as shown on screen. Last but not least, let me share on the importance of this research study. The results of the study and the information obtained are important as a reference material as well as a guide to the authorities, especially to TVET practitioners in Malaysia. This study will produce various interests in terms of theoretical and practical aspects, which can increase knowledge and understanding of the concept of TVET program sustainability in public skill training institution, especially in training institution Manpower Department ILJTM. It is hoped that the findings at the end of the research and study is the suitability of a TVET sustainability model in ILJTM, which will be a reference for all TVET practitioners at every level, whether curriculum development personnel, instructors, facilitators, policymakers, and so on. My conclusion, this concept paper is expected to provide an understanding of the concept and goals of sustainable education development to help improve the effectiveness of the implementation of TVET sustainability in the country in general and ILJTM in particular. This is because, based on the views and ideas of the UNESCO organization, the concept of sustainable education development (ESD) is needed to ensure a better quality of life and impact TVET graduates to become sustainable workers. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.